Yes, I'll start lecture on today. Today we discuss the testicular tumor. The testicular tumor comprises of 1% of all the malignant tumors. Usually it affects the young population. Majority of testicular tumors, they are germ cell tumors. And almost all of them are malignant. It causes a lot of psychological and fertility problems in young adults. However, because of better understanding of the natural history and this platinum-based chemotherapy, also because of availability of reliable testicular tumor markers, the overall prognosis of testicular tumors in the last 15 to 20 years has been improved dramatically. As you know, the testis contains the germ cells giving rise to seminiferous tubules, which are supported by circular cells and the spermatogonia, and the stroma, which contains interstitial cells, mainly Leydig cells. The incidence of testicular tumor in India is 1.2 per 100,000 population. The peak age is 20 to 40 years, and they are rare after 60 years. Tumors are bilateral in 2% of all the cases. We classify testicular tumors into primary neoplasia, that is germ cell tumors and non-germ cell tumors, and secondary testicular tumors because of metastatic disease, and the tumors which arise from the adnexia of testis, they are called as paratesticular tumors. The germ cell tumors are classified as seminomas and non-seminomas. The seminomas comprise of 40% of all testicular tumors, and they are classified into three types: classical or typical seminoma, anaplastic seminoma, and spermatocystic seminoma. The embryonal cell carcinoma and teratoma are classified in other subareas. They are called as non-seminomas. And embryonal cell carcinomas, they comprise of 20 to 25% of non-seminomas, while teratomas, they are mature or immature, comprise of 25 to 35% of all the tumors. Rare tumor is a choriocarcinoma and yolk sac tumors, which comprise of 1% of all the testicular tumors. Non-germ cell tumors are rare. They are Leydig cell tumors causing muscularizations, circular cell tumors causing feminization, gonadoblastoma, which arises from the undescended testes, and rare tumors like adenocarcinoma of the radiate testes, mesenchymal neoplasms, and adrenal rest tumors. What are the causes of testicular tumors? Cryptorchidism or bilateral undescended or unilateral undescended testes is one of the important predisposing factors to testicular tumors. The incidence of testicular tumor in descended testes is 1%, while the testicular tumor arising from the abdominal testes or inguinal testes, the incidence is 50 times more common than the scrotal testes. Carcinoma in situ is very common finding in patients with the cryptorchidism and is one of the precursor of germ cell tumor. You should always ask the patient the personal history in the form of whether he has had a testicular tumor in the past, and infertility slightly increase the risk of testicular tumor. The paratesticular tumors are the commonest paratesticular tumor is adenomatoid tumor and the cystadenoma of the epididymis, and sometimes you can find the mesenchymal or soft tissue tumor arising from the paratesticular structures. As I told you, the primary neoplasm of the testes are germ cell tumors. The risk of carcinoma in developing in undecided testes is 15 to 40 times higher than the normal expected testes. The causes of malignancy in testicular tumor are abnormal gel cell morphology, elevated temperature in the abdomen and inguinal region as opposed to the scrotum, endocrine disturbances, and gonadal dysgenesis. How do you stage the testicular tumor? The stage A or 1 is the tumor which are confined to the testis. Stage B or 2 is a spread to the regional lymph nodes below the abdomen. That is, 2A is nodes less than 2 centimeter in size and less than 5 nodes. 2B is nodes which are 2 to 5 centimeter in size, more than 5 nodes. And 2C is large bulky abdominal masses, usually more than 5 to 10 centimeter in size. Stage C or 3 is tumor spreads beyond the retroperitoneum or above the diaphragm, or patient has got visceral disease in the liver or in the lungs. To properly stage the testicular tumors, following are the prerequisites. You must know the pathology of testicular tumor. After doing a radical orchiectomy, ask the patient the history, clinically examine the patients, do a radiological procedures like ultrasound, CT abdomen or MRI, and do tumor markers like beta hCG, alpha protoproteins, and serum LDH. This is a TNM classification of testicular tumor, where TIS is an intratubular pre-invasive testicular tumor. T1 is a tumor confined to the testis. T2 is invade beyond the tunica albuginea or into epididymis. T3 is invade the spermatic cord, and T4 invade the scrotum. N1 is single node less than 2 centimeter. N2 or multiple nodes less than 5 centimeter, and N3 is any node above 5 centimeter. The course of spread of germ cell tumors are predictable once the histology of the tumor is confirmed. Usually, the lymphatic spread has been set pattern depending upon the size of the tumor. Seminoma may have non-seminomatous metastasis and high-grade tumors spread by both the vascular as well as lymphatic invasion. Seminoma usually spreads by lymphatic route and involves the retroperitoneum early, while the non-seminomatous testicular tumors spread by the hemateginous routes and involve the lungs and the liver early. Investigations, we do ultrasound of the scrotum, which show an hypoechoic area or hypoechoic nodule in the testis, X-ray chest to detect the secondaries, CT scan of the abdomen, and the tumor markers like alpha protoproteins, beta hCG. These tumor markers are usually raised in patients with non-seminomas, like alpha protoproteins is raised in the patients with the embryonal tumors, while the beta hCG is raised in patients with the yolk sac tumors. How do patient present? Patient present with the painless swelling of the gonad, dull ache or the heaviness in the lower abdomen. 10% of the acute, all the testicular tumors has got acute scrotal pain. 10% of the patients do have metastasis, usually in the form of neck mass, cough, anorexia, vomiting, backache, or lower limb swelling. 5% have gynecomastia, rarely patient present with the abdominal testis. Dictum is that all the patients with the solid foam intratesticular mass that cannot be fluctuated or transilluminated should be regarded as malignant unless proved otherwise. Tumor markers are oncofetal proteins like alpha fetoproteins and beta hCG, cellular enzymes like LDH and plaque, and hCG like which is secreted by syncytial trophoblastic cells. Normal values of alpha-proteins are below 60 nanogram per ml. Half-life is 5 to 7 days. Alpha-proteins are raised in the patient with pure embryonal cell carcinoma, teratocarcinoma, yolk-sac tumor, and the combined non-seminiferous testicular tumors. Beta HCG has alpha and beta polypeptide chain. Normal value is less than 1 nanogram per ml. Half-life is 24 to 36 hours. And in almost all the patients of choriocarcinoma, the beta HCG is raised. In 60% of the patients with embryonal carcinoma, beta HCG is raised. In 55% of the teratocarcinoma, beta HCG is raised. In 25% of the yolk-sac tumors, beta HCG is raised. The role of testicular tumor is in the diagnosis of testicular tumors. The role of the tumor marker is in the diagnosis of testicular tumors. Almost 80 to 85% of the testicular tumors have positive markers. Most of the non-seminiferous tumors have got raised markers. Only 10 to 15% of non-seminiferous non-seminomas have normal marker levels. After the orchiectomy, if the markers are elevated, that means that patient has got residual disease in the abdomen or in the chest. And after the elevation of the markers after the retroperitoneal lymphadenectomy means that patient has got supradiaphragmatic disease. The degree of marker elevation appears to be directly proportional to the tumor burden. Markers indicate histology of the tumors. If the alpha-proteins are raised in the patient with histologically fluid seminoma, that means that patient has got element of non-seminoma. Negative markers becoming positive on follow-up usually indicates recurrence of tumors. Markers become positive earlier than X-ray studies. What are the treatment? The initial treatment is radical orchiectomy. That is a staging treatment followed by the radiotherapy in the form of seminoma, because seminomas are extremely radiosensitive and it should be treated with the radiotherapy. Non-seminomas are radio-resistant and best can be treated by surgery. Advanced disease or metastasis respond well to the chemotherapy. Principles of treatment: radical or inguinal orchiectomy is a standard first line of treatment in the both form of disease. Lymphatic spread usually goes to the retroperitoneal disease. An early hematogenous spread is rare. Bulky retroperitoneal tumors or metastatic tumors initially are downstage with chemotherapy. So how do you treat seminomas? Stage 1, stage 2A, and stage 2B. It's radical inguinal orchiectomy followed by radiation to the ipsilateral retroperitoneal and ipsilateral iliac group of lymph nodes. Bulky stage 2 and stage 3 seminomas, they are treated by radical orchiectomy followed by cisplatin-based combined chemotherapy. Stage 1 and stage 2A non-seminomas, radical orchiectomy followed by retroperitoneal lymph node dissection. Stage 2B, RPLND with possible adjuvant chemotherapy, while stage 2C and stage 3, that is a bulky retroperitoneal disease, is treated by initial chemotherapy followed by surgery for the residual disease. Chemotherapeutic agents are bleomycin, etoposide, cisplatin. The bleomycin usually causes pulmonary fibrosis. Etoposide or VP16 causes myelosuppression, alopecia, renal insufficiency, and secondary leukemias, while cisplatin can cause neuropathy, renal insufficiency, and nausea and vomiting. This is a CT scan of abdomen demonstrating left hydronephrosis due to a large para-aortic group of nodal mass from the germ cell tumors. These are the limits of lymph node dissection in right and left sided testicular tumors. So, to summarize, stage 1 and stage 2A, stage 2B seminomas are treated with abdominal radiotherapy and follow-up. Stage 2B and stage C disease is treated with chemotherapy, followed by stable disease. If there is a regression, follow-up is done for the regression or the stable disease. If there is a relapse, the relapse are treated with either RPLND can chemotherapy. By non-seminomatous testicular tumors, they are treated by first radical orchiectomy. Stage 1 and 2 are treated by RPL&D, and then observe. Stage 2, B2 are treated by, there is a retroperitoneal disease, which is bulky, are treated by chemotherapy, 2 or 3 cycles of chemotherapy. Stage 2C, that is advanced testicular tumors, complete response, observe the patients, give 4 cycles of DAP, partial response, followed by, they are subjected to the RPL&D, and followed for the cancers. The RPL&D, after the RPL&D, patients are followed for the recurrence of teratoma. Progression is done, the patient progresses, again the second phase of autologous bone marrow transplant is done. The prognosis is, stage 1 is almost 99% in seminoma, by 95 to 99% in non-seminomas. Stage 2, 70 to 92% 5-year survival in seminoma, and 90% 5-year survival non-seminoma. Stage 3, 80 to 85% in seminoma, 70 to 80% in non-seminoma. There is improved overall survival of testicular tumors due to the better understanding of the disease, availability of tumor markers, and cisplatin-based chemotherapy. Current emphasis is on diminishing the overall morbidity of various treatment modalities. Thank you.